Calling Congress 101. So if y'all are new to calling Congress, the most important thing for you to understand about my videos and my calls is that they're way more complex than they need to be. Y'all, all of my calls are extra. If you are just starting out, your calls can be so much simpler and the same message will get passed on. So before I tell you how to make a call, it's important that we understand what they're taking down from these calls. And the answer to that doesn't make it easy because it varies. If you want like a whole bunch of details on that, you can go in my playlists. I have a 20-minute interview with Representative Subramaniam. He's my congressman, where we go into that in detail. But for the short version, most reps from these calls, most of these interns are just taking down a tally mark of whether you're for or against something. The other thing that varies by rep is whether they will take down your message if you're a constituent or not. Some reps will only take your call, only write down your message if you're a constituent. Now, I still think there's value in calling as a non-constituent. I'll go into that another day. That's my opinion. But definitely by far your most valuable calls are the ones to your representative. And the fact that some require you to be a constituent means it's very important if you are a constituent to give the information they're asking for. The reason they ask your name and location is to confirm you're a constituent. So that leads me to the first part of your call, the intro. I start every call to my representatives with, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. I am a constituent calling from XYZ." Now, you don't have to start your call with that. Some offices will ask for that right off the bat. And if they don't, you don't have to start with that, but I always do because I know I'm less likely to get hung up on. They're more likely to actually listen and take my call seriously. So I tell them right off the bat, "My name is so-and-so, I'm a constituent, and I am calling from," and then I give my zip code. Some reps will ask for your full address. Mine all just ask for zip code, so that's what I give. Now, if you're not a constituent and you don't want to pretend to be a constituent, then I just skip that part. I just go straight you see this in most of my calls. I just go straight into, "Hi, I'm calling because," and then my goal when I do that is to avoid the question. Sometimes I can get off the call without them ever asking. Sometimes they ask and I dodge, but at that point I know they're probably not recording my call. In some cases, I'll tell them I'm not a constituent, but I know that they're less likely to be recording my call if that's the case. So from there, my next sentence is always, "I'm calling because." Very simple. I'm calling because. And this is where I start to get a little wordy, but you don't have to. "I'm calling because" can be followed by one of two things generally. Either a request or feedback. So you're either requesting they do something in the future or giving them feedback on something they've done in the past. So the first one, requesting action, can be, "I'm calling because I would like the rep to vote no on the budget." And that's literally all you have to say. And they're getting these calls all day. So the intern will just say, "Okay, great, thanks. I'll mark it down. I'll let him know." And that usually will be the end of the call. "I'd like him to vote no on the budget," or "I'd like him to vote yes on XYZ. Or it could be a less concrete request, as in not a specific bill. It could be, "I would like the rep to speak out more against the gerrymandering happening in Texas." Something like that. And then for feedback, same concept, same basic premise. You don't have to go into a 5-minute rant like I do. If you know the number or the name of the bill, it could just be, "I am calling because I'm not happy that the rep voted yes on HB 123. And then the other way you can go is positive feedback. "I'm calling because I would like to thank the senator for speaking out about XYZ. Or I'm calling because I'd like to thank the senator for voting no on HB 123. From there, and this is completely optional, you can, if you want to, elaborate. Say, I'm calling because I am happy that the rep spoke out about XYZ. I think it's really important that he continue to speak out about this because I think it helps our community because of ABC reasons. But you don't have to do that. The only required parts are confirming your constituency and then giving them a one sentence what you are for or against. And if you're not a constituent, again, you could just skip the first part and hope it doesn't come up. One more optional add-on that I forgot to mention earlier, and this is specific to if you're a constituent. You're not going to get this if you're not a constituent. But if you're a constituent, you can request a response. Now, if you're just following the basic formula that I've given you, you can ask for a response, but in my experience, it's going to be a copy and pasted letter that an intern writes. You're not going to get anything real from it. But if you have an actual question for them, you can request a response, and you'll probably get a staffer, legislative staff or somebody who knows about that topic who can respond to you. So in summary, a full call would be, hello, thank you for calling the office of Representative so-and-so. Hi, my name is XYZ. I am a constituent calling from blah, 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 and I am calling because I would like the representative to vote no on Bill XYZ. Okay, great. I will write that down and let the representative know. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you. Have a good day. And that's it. That's all you need. The two easiest first calls to make, if you're still nervous and still concerned about getting on the phone, I always give two pieces of advice. Call after hours or on the weekends, because then you are guaranteed to get voicemail. You don't have to worry about someone picking up. You can just leave a voicemail with the same information. The other one is calling a rep to thank them. Now, this one is an easy call, whether you're a constituent or not. This is the one exception to my rule about trying to avoid the constituent question. If I'm calling to say thank you, I will start out with, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm not a constituent, but I just really wanted to call and thank the representative because of XYZ. And these calls are super easy because they're well received. These interns are being yelled at all day. So when they get a call thanking them, it's a happy call. They like the call. So it's a very easy, friendly call to make. I have never had a hard or negative thank you call. So that's another easy one to make. If you need even more guidance in this, if you're still feeling like you need more guidance, there's an app called 5Calls app. That app will literally, you type in your zip code and it will tell you who your reps are. You can click on a topic and it will give you a script for that topic and fill in your rep's name and give you your rep's number. 5Calls app is a very good app for getting started on calls. If you are struggling to follow what your rep is doing, check out my resources and tips playlist. I've got a whole long video in there on how to navigate congress.gov and how to follow your rep and see what your rep's voting on and what bills they're sponsoring and all of that. And the last bit of information you need are their phone numbers. I also have a video in my resources and tips about how to find everyone's phone numbers, their district and their DC lines. But also, if you go to the link in my bio, I have all of Congress's directories in my link tree. So you can find all of their numbers right in my link tree. And if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. That's all.